Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of HRD 630. We are starting on Monday. We're entering week number 11, which is just amazing to me. November is, to me, always a transition month. We're transitioning between the first two-thirds of the class and all of the content that is involved without all of that, and then we're shifting gears and going into actually the final stretch of the course. So what I'd like to do is keep this brief. I'd like to just quickly mention the weekly discussions. I want to thank our two peer facilitators. They did a great job. The topics and the discussion, I really felt like we had some great discussions this week, and I attribute a lot of that to the peer facilitation that we had. So thank you very much for those that participated and our two facilitators. So moving on to week number 11, and shift gears here. So as you can see, all of the materials are available at this point. Actually, it's a combination of week 10 and week 11. So what are we doing this week? I have to stress this, and I can't stress this enough. Excuse me. The big thing for week number 11 is the facilitation that occurs next Saturday. Next Saturday, we will start at 10 o'clock, and we will go officially till 3 if we need it. But I think we're going to be in the same category as we were last week, with the first facilitation, where we started promptly at 10. We have the first 5 facilitation presentations in the morning. We stop for 20-25 minutes, and then we get right back to it. So I think we're probably going to be done at 2 o'clock, just like we were with the first one. So what are we doing this week? Well, the big thing is getting ready for the facilitation. When I walk through some of the materials that we're going to be doing, I think you'll see the format is the same. We'll be using Brightspace. You will get permission. You will actually be the host, and then we'll get to the actual presentation. Then we'll switch it to the next person. I plan on using the same schedule that we had before. So if you were number 1, which was Pamela, you're going to be first out of the chute, and we'll start, like I said, promptly at 10 o'clock. And then we just go down the same list. So let me quickly go through the materials that we have this week, and then I'm going to shift gears and go to the syllabus and show you where some additional materials are. So bear with me a second. I'll move this down. So the goals for the week are 1, 3, and 4. This ties with our course goals. The invitation, which is really, what are we doing? Complete facilitation 2. So I say 1 or the 2 dates we have scheduled. We're only using 1 date. That's coming up next Saturday. It's the 13th. We start at 10 o'clock in the morning. There is a feedback form. I'm going to ask everybody to do the same thing that we did the last time. Please use the feedback form. And then I think what we're going to do is use the same shells that we used for submitting the feedback forms, and I'll move those around on Brightspace, but that will be due after the presentations. Guidelines, self-evaluation, essay, which occurs 1 week after the 13th, actually the 14th, so it's going to be due on the 21st of November. So I'd also like, this is beyond week number 11, which is next week. I'd like you to take a look at the professional development option. I mean, all of you, hopefully you've been working on this professional development option. What's going to happen in week number 12? By Wednesday of that week, I'm going to ask you to put your materials on Brightspace. Now, I will set this up for everybody. Here's the directions on what it actually is that I'm asking you to do relating to this, but I would ask everybody, I'd ask everybody to put the materials or develop the materials in week number 12. I'm going to ask you to get them in the online discussion area midweek, which is, once again, we're going into week 11, so this is beyond. And then we're going to be taking a look at that in week 12 and week 13. So please take a look at the instructions in here. If you have any questions about what we're doing in week 12 or the professional development options that have been provided, please take a look at the syllabus or actually take a look at the information here. So what I'm going to do at this point is shift gears. We're going to go to the syllabus and we're going to talk about the facilitation that we have coming up on November 13th. As far as the facilitation, the presentation number 2, I refer you to the syllabus, and maybe some of you have already looked at this, maybe not, but there's a tremendous amount of material in here specifics to what facilitation number 2 is. So unlike the first presentation that you did, that was a one-sided affair. You put together a topic. It could be the benefits of service learning. It could be whatever one of the great topics that we had. You gave us a presentation. It was really a one-sided affair. There were moments where people could ask questions. We used the chat. But it's different than what we're doing in the second facilitation. So let me just go through this. Lead one group discussion where basically you set the stage in 5 minutes. And you use this initial period. You could talk. You could have a few PowerPoint slides where you go over, you provide an outline, then you provide us with some content of what we're going to be discussing. So, the first 5 minutes, 8 minutes, you're going to teach us something if we need it. And then we're going to be having a facilitated discussion. You will facilitate our discussion on your topic. So you can take a look at the materials. You can take a look at Brookfield's book. But once again, to give you an idea, okay, just say I would be doing a presentation on the fundamentals of adult learning. What I might do is go through initially and talk about things like Brookfield's work, Knoll's work, Dewey's work initially. Maybe have 2 or 3 slides giving some background, and then the discussion could be prompted by me. You might use prompts. You could leave these up on the screen. The first prompt was, how do you think teaching adults is different than teaching children? That might be the first prompt. I ask the open-ended questions. We get a discussion going on. And then the second one could be something like, okay, a fundamental part of adult learning has to do with transformation. And I might play around with the idea, do you think it's the professors or the teachers or the educators' role to instigate some kind of major transformation in a student, which involves early on this thing called the disorienting dilemma, and I might facilitate that. So that's really it. Present the materials for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then facilitate the discussion for about 10 minutes. So please take a look at the material in here. If you have any questions on the facilitation coming up, please let me know. Now, I just wanted to let everybody know that I will be out of town on Tuesday and Wednesday. I have to travel to New York State for a family funeral. One of my dear aunts just died, and the family is getting together. It's on the eastern side of Long Island, Sag Harbor. For those that know, it's not an easy place to get to from Maine. So between driving down, taking ferries, doing the night before, and then the funeral, and then the after celebration of life, I'm going to be pretty much tied up on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Shoot me an email. I'm still going to check emails, but I'm not going to be able to really participate all that much. You can also call me at any time. My number is 207-837-9565. So that is it. That's week number 11, a snapshot into week number 12. But this week is really preparation for your facilitated discussion coming up on the 13th. I'll send out everybody a reminder on Friday about next Saturday, November 13th. But once again, we start at 10 o'clock, and we will go till officially 3, but we'll probably stop at 2. In the meantime, if you have any questions for me, I'm readily available today, which is Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and also periods on Tuesday. I'll be sitting on a ferry going across Long Island Sound for an hour and a half or 2 hours. So feel free to reach out to me. I hope you have a great week, and thanks for keeping up the energy in the course. I really appreciate it. We'll see everybody online.